Welcome to ACAB Radio, everybody. We're broadcasting live from the Happy Earth Market. We're presented to you by nvcopblock.org and foodnotbombslasvegas.org. We got a few clips for you today. Some body cam footage was released from Metro from the 1 October shooting, so definitely some stuff to talk about there. Metro also had another officer-involved shooting, the 9th of this year so far. So we're going to get into that. Also, some recent viral videos of police terrorism. One individual was tased when he was sitting down, complying. Yeah. And then the other one is a cell phone video of Antoine Rose out of Pittsburgh, the 17-year-old unarmed man who was shot in the back and murdered by police when he was running away from them, not posing a threat. And the community there is definitely pissed off, hurt, saddened by yet another, loss in their community. And they've taken to the streets, and the mayor out there has really shown their true colors and with some of the things they've been saying, and yeah, it's been crazy, man. People are tired of it. So I don't know. You guys want to play?
Which one were you gonna play first?
All right, I'll play the clips from the 1 October shooting first, and we'll talk about those.
Let's do that. Yeah, cowards before Broward. That's the new hashtag that we're using for Metro. Because they were standing around the hallway for 70 minutes. They get the publicity that in Broward County did out there.
I was skeptical when I first heard about the device. I was kind of like, really? It is almost like looking, right behind the wall.
It's an amazing product, in my opinion. It's an amazing product.
Insanely well at that. I will never buy a stud finder again.
It shows you that this is a wire. It shows you that the stud is actually wood or a metal stud.
It works. Whoa. In fact, it works better than what I thought it would. And if a tool makes me money, if it helped me finish one job, then it's worth every dime.
For renovation and remodeling, that's really the name of the game.
This is an authorized shout out though.
Yeah. You can buy it now. It's a price drop too, if you notice. And we can skip that ahead.
It has been many months since the mass shooting in Las Vegas, the largest in modern American history. Even now, new information, for some reason, continues to trickle out. Key information. Newly released video shows Las Vegas police waiting in the hallway at the Mandalay Bay Hotel, even as Stephen Paddock continues to murder people below. The obvious question is, why is this footage coming out now, and why did the police not act for several minutes? Catherine Lombardo is an attorney representing some of the victims of those shootings, and she joins us tonight. Catherine, thank you for coming on. So the first question is, why are we finding this out now? This seems like a central piece of information in the story.
Because the court ordered the Las Vegas Metro Police Department to release all of this video footage, and pursuant to court order, they are releasing it piece by piece over the last couple of months. And as you know, yesterday we received about a dozen videos and many more audio videos showing mostly police officer body-worn camera footage. It's fascinating. It is also very, very upsetting. It shows the extremeness of the event and the trauma that everyone there, the 22,000 people who wwere there, have suffered. Interesting, in that video, I've been in that very hallway, in the stairwell, at the door, there on the 31st floor and the 32nd floor. I was there just some months ago. And what the video clearly shows is that this one particular police officer was on the 31st floor, not the 32nd floor. And he was there for many, many moments. What we find interesting is that the Mandalay Bay security officer who was with that particular police officer before the shooting started and raced through the casino floor and raced up the elevators with him, This particular Mandalay Bay security guard said that he was on the 32nd floor with that particular officer in the video on the 31st floor. This Mandalay Bay security manager told the FBI on 9 separate occasions in his interviews that he was certain he was with this Officer Hendricks on the 32nd floor. So we already knew that this Officer Hendricks was on the 31st floor, but it wasn't until yesterday when all of that video was released that we finally got confirmation that something is wrong, something's amiss. This whole thing, it's just the tip of the iceberg. We've only scratched the surface.
It's unbelievable. This is the second time in several months we've seen armed police officers stand there while a mass murder takes place. I'm very sympathetic to cops. I think they take a lot of crap, but I think we deserve an explanation for why this keeps happening.
As am I.
Catherine,
and
thank
just
you.
one last thought on that. I have a client whose spouse was shot and killed inside the venue during the 12th and final burst of gunfire.
Right.
And I just want to put that out there because had they been able to
Well, I mean,
apprehend
can
the
you
shooter-
imagine? Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I hope our audience thinks about that. How would you like that to share? Yeah, meditate on that for a minute. Catherine, thank you.
If the officers would have acted in a timely manner instead of milling around.
We can't talk about that.
So this is the officer they were talking about in that clip. They were showing footage from other body cameras. The Tucker interview, those were officers who were in the stairwell right outside of Paddock's.
Fired up floor, up one.
So that's Officer Hendricks there.
Yeah. So the thing about that is, you know, their official timeline that they've already changed 3 times was that they didn't get there until after the shooting. Now this video shows them standing when they've been informed that he's in there shooting and exactly where he is while he's still shooting out at the crowd.
Stay in your room. Stay in your room. Stay in your room. I'm inside Mandalay Bay on the 31st floor. I can hear the automatic fire coming from one floor on that. One floor above us. We can hear it above us.
Is there a unit now? Just be advised, it is automatic fire. Fully automatic fire from an elevated position. Take cover.
Multiple W6. Legs, cerebral arteries, and the medical check. At the medical check, 4A. Off of Guile, south of River.
All right, job covering.
A flashing coming up.
Yeah, he's hiding behind the doorway. He's the floor below there.
His arms folded.
He's not even.
Control, we need all units now coming northbound on Las Vegas Boulevard because he's shooting this way. It's a horrible cover spot.
Officers
Ten-break. Go unnecessary.
traffic, and they're saying, you know, we're taking
Contact on the radio. You know where it's at. The 32nd floor, 135. Everyone else off the radio. I'm with Metro right now. Copy. Radio more shotgun fired. East of the boulevard. Control 166. Victim. Oh my God. Gunshot to the leg.
Here we go, folks. What do you think of that?
Those brave Metro officers who rushed in honor.
The reason that they only released these videos a little bit at a time, because if they released all of them at once, the people wouldn't stop vomiting at the tragedy and you know, the ridiculousness of the actions of the police. So, you know, it's kind of like taking something that tastes bad. You know, you take a little bit at a time, it doesn't upset your stomach as much.
Has Lombardo come out with a new timeline yet?
So I
didn't hear his
all
press
I've heard
conference.
is them standing by these officers and saying, you know, they acted appropriately because they were outgunned. They should have stayed there. And
Because
done
all those
nothing,
people down there in the
basically what they
crowd that were just being shot at from 500 feet away were outgunned.
The point I've been making is that this is what you signed up for. Sure, not everybody expects to be in the middle of the worst mass shooting in history, right? But it's like if you're in the military, you don't want your brother in arms right next to you, you don't want a coward who's going to freeze up when you're needed most, right? So this is his job. This is what they signed up for, to protect and serve, supposedly, right? So instead of protecting people, this is what they're doing. They're cowering and freezing. I mean, he even wrote in his report,
Right.
he said, I know I hesitated and I remember being terrified with fear, and I think that I froze right there in the middle of the hall. For how long, I can't say. That's what Hendricks wrote in his report.
About 70 minutes is how long it
Well, and that's the issue. Listen, I can understand. Whenever you get into a situation, you don't know how you're going to react.
Yeah.
You will be scared. I've been scared many times. And you know, and if you, but you think that something would have happened within that time frame, where something else, or somebody would have came in, there would have been something other.
So the thing about that is, first of all, you know, he wasn't the only guy there.
Right.
You know, there's a bunch of cops. The other thing about that is he signed up for that. He trained for that. He's been in the situation. He shouldn't be afraid, because that's his job.
When I bring this up to, exactly, when I bring this up to people, as they bring that up, they say, well, it doesn't matter how much training you get, you don't know how you're going to react until you're in that situation. But the way, then what I said is, well, it's bullshit. Okay, so he should be fired.
Absolutely.
Right? He should be let go. This is not an officer that other officers would want at their side, because they know he's going to freeze up. So now that they know that he can't handle it, he needs to be let go. He's not cut out for the force.
And the other thing about that is he wasn't the only guy.
No.
Right. Well, that's
he's the only guy they have on video.
But if he knows that he freezes, then you should step aside. Being like, you know what, I thought I could do it, I can't do it.
Exactly.
And I quit. I shouldn't wait to be fired.
Yeah.
And then
I should quit, because that's the moral thing
And
to
then
do.
the other thing about that is, then you should get on TV and praise yourself and talk about what a hero you were that day.
Right.
And have the sheriff sit there and talk about how wonderful and how heroic everybody was when they weren't, and they sat in the hallway and were afraid.
Yeah, it was over, what, like an hour and 15 minutes from when the gunshot started to when they finally reached Paddock Room. Now, I am going to admit there were some officers that did some very heroic things on the ground there, you know, helping pull casualties, helping get people to the hospital and whatnot, right? But in terms of a tactical response, it was very disappointing, I thought,
and
that how they handled this
And
whole
once
situation.
again, just like Parkland, there were teachers and there were other students who did heroic shit, but this guy was standing out in the hallway.
Well, that's the thing. He wasn't even in.
Nothing.
He wasn't in the melee. He wasn't in the line of fire. He wasn't in the chaos that was going on downstairs. So they were up in a nice hallway, you know, shielded from all the horror that was going on around them. So I still don't quite get. I mean, you know.
So that's the thing. There were people there at the concert who were not trained cops, and who were not. There were even people that didn't have any kind of military background, didn't have any kind of background with being
everyday
some kind of shooting stuff, and they helped people into ambulances, and they tried to shield people and all that. But meanwhile, this coward is sitting here in the hallway.
Yeah, check out the Review Journal. They've got some more videos on their YouTube page. There's videos, like Kelly's talking about, of everyday citizens. You know, hey, how can I help? You know, can I, help load this person up? And it's just video after video, body cam footage of people, everyday people helping out in that, time of need. And it was amazing to see the people's response versus the people who were paid to train. Unbelievable.
But I bet you if somebody was jaywalking, he would have rushed right in there and helped.
Well, that's the other thing.
He would have snapped right to that.
Well, he never freezes when it comes to hassling. Yeah. Minor infractions. That license plate light bulb there, sir.
Yeah,
he jumps right on that.
He's guy with an open container in a public park. He's freaking. He ain't freezing for nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, and then while we're on Metro, might as well bring up officer-involved shooting number 9 for the year. It was only one shot fired. They didn't shoot the suspect. The thing I wanted to bring up is how the officer never turned on his body camera. So they gave the press, press release the other day, and
based just on
the
story that this one officer.
Well, they acted it out. To be fair, I mean, they had some guys come up and acted it out with puppets.
Yeah.
So this is an actor reenactor. So
we should start doing that. We're bringing puppets and do reenactments.
Yeah, they did show some footage. There was one officer who came on, was far away from the thing. You couldn't even see. You could barely hear the gunshot. You could let alone see it. So you couldn't make out what was going on. You just got to take their word for what happened. And again, I'm not, trying to justify the actions of the suspect or anything like that. I'm just pointing out that it's policy and it's procedure. They're supposed to turn on their body cameras, and in the press release they didn't say if you forgot to turn it on or if it was a malfunction or what, but all they said is that we don't have the video footage of it. So
Well,
sound familiar, right?
That somehow disappeared.
I mean, should we do all the cop stuff now? I mean,
yeah, we can.
You want to do La Para? I mean, but
Yeah,
you did
yeah.
promise an update. Hey, very important update.
Amazingly, surprisingly, they delayed La Para's date again.
I know you're all shocked.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Shocking.
So they're going to drag that out. They might be holding out for the November elections because some of these politicians don't want people to put pressure on them to, make Metro act.
I heard that the rapture is going to be within the next 15 years, and I think they're holding out for the rapture. That's my my thought on that. I think that's as good as any to keep holding out.
So when is the date? The next court date? You know?
I'd have to check.
But
I'll make sure I know next week, and we'll definitely keep updated on. It would be toward the end of the month, probably the 25th or so.
End of August,
that's
right?
been
So the next time they're going to postpone it is at the end of August.
Yeah,
Is that what
it's roughly every month at around the 25th. That's when they've been doing it. So they delay it 1 month. It might not be the exact date, but it's usually in that time range. So I'll find out for sure. We'll all go there and waste a bunch of time and make me get up at fucking 8.
Pay for parking.
Alright, we'll play the other video too. The Antoine Rose video.
This is pretty brutal.
Yeah, this isn't a very good copy because it was from so far away, but yeah, it's brutal.
But I mean, you hear it and you can imagine the people witnessing it. Leadership.
Why are they shooting at him? No, I'm recording this. Why are they shooting? All they did was run and they're shooting at them.
Well, that's one of those things about the cops, man. It's nowadays they're just so lazy, they don't chase anybody, so they just shoot them,
And this is, these people weren't even close, so they even saw, they're running. Why are they shooting? They're running.
So what the official narrative is that they were involved in a shooting some other part of town earlier before this stop, which the mainstream media parroted that narrative, and it's come out that that was a lie. This vehicle, those individuals weren't involved in the shooting. There was a firearm found in the car, so they had taken the driver out, or arresting the driver, and that's when Antoine Rose and his friend took off running. The friend was let go that day, but has later since been arrested again. So I think it's because of what a big deal this has become that they went back and arrested the friend. But yeah, 17-year-old kid, unarmed, running away, not posing a threat to anyone, the officer or the community. The community has come out to support him and said, how he, I don't know if it was a homeless program that he was helping out, but it was some kind of feeding thing. Teachers have come out and said what a great kid he was.
Listen, I really don't give a shit, man. Even if he sat in front of his goddamn TV all day and played video games, never really helped anybody, but maybe helped, his mom carry groceries up from the store. Fucking no reason. You don't fucking have to justify and paint anybody. He doesn't have to be a great fucking person. He can be, an average fucking person. He can be a lazy ass fucking person. Or anything. You don't have the fucking right to shoot people in the fucking back at will.
Absolutely.
I mean, they shouldn't have to justify that. The police fucking go out of their way to demonize these people, and the only way that we make it even is if we fucking make them saints. And they don't have to be fucking saints. You don't have to be a good person. You just be an average person. You don't get shot in the back. I mean, I understand that the kid was probably a nice kid and everything, but, you know, we're always there trying to now justify why the police shouldn't do it. They shouldn't have shot him because he helps with the homeless. He's a nice kid. He goes to church every Sunday. No, you don't need to do those things not to get shot in the back. You don't need to do those things. It kind of fucking bothers me. At this point, I've seen it over and over again. There's got to be a time when the people put the blame where the blame belongs. It's the guy pulling that fucking trigger on somebody running away.
Well, it's like when they do the swatting thing, and then the cops are all like, "Oh, it's this guy's fault." No, you shot him. Like, because somebody calls you up and makes a report of something doesn't mean you have to go out and shoot them.
Exactly.
You know, you're not just this robot. You know, we don't have RoboCop out there. Which RoboCop actually assessed the situation before he shot people. You know, and he was in an action movie in the '80s, so you know, it just shows you how bad the cops are now. That they just run out and shoot people. You know, the last swatting thing, the guy answered the door and they shot him.
Right, I remember that.
They're all like, "Oh, it wasn't our fault. It was that guy in Sacramento who called us."
Right.
What about when they end up at the wrong house?
And that's actually a pretty big bully tactic. You know, bullies are always like, "See what you made me do." You know, that's the cops.
Yeah. Well, why'd you force me to shoot this kid when he opened the door?
Yeah. And that's the other thing is, you know, first of all, it's not the cops' job to dish out punishment. So it's not their job to just shoot people.
That's right. They're not judge, jury, and executioner.
Or based on what they're accused of. And on top of that, they don't know, you know, for sure that they have the right guy. They could be after the wrong guy. They shot, I forget his name, but they shot the guy at the 7-Eleven, you know, a couple years ago. That's in what happened in Vegas.
Right.
I think his name is Andre, his first name.
Yeah.
But, you know, he was a guy that this cop decided he was somebody they were looking for. So he pulls a gun on him, and when he backed up, and he shot him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's fortunate that he survived, but at the same time, it's not the cop's job to decide, well, this guy might be wanted for murder, so I'm just going to shoot him.
They're quick to shoot, man. They got itchy trigger fingers, and, you know, it's not going to bode well. It's not going to bode well for the police. I mean, you see already the backlash. If you can't trust them not to murder you, what is your incentive not to do whatever you can to survive? What's your incentive not to do whatever you can to survive? If you think you're going to go going down and you're going to be murdered, you know, you're going to do whatever you can to live. And these cops, you know, are pushing people to make decisions that, if their actions weren't as brutal and as deadly, you know, wouldn't have to be made.
Yeah, and this just goes to show there's both ends of the spectrum. So we've got the 1 October shooting where there is imminent danger and an imminent threat, and they won't engage. And then here's somebody running away, you know, posing no threat, and they engage.
Right, that's the same thing. If there's a real threat, if there's a real threat and they can't, they'll run. But once they think they could bully and they outnumber you and you're at a great disadvantage,
then they're quick to act.
That's like bullies. Funny how that works.
Yeah. The other shooting was the Thurman Blevins shooting in Minneapolis the other week. Unfortunately, there's no footage of that shooting, but the community is up in arms out there. I mean, I've seen footage of them like blocking police cars from being able to drive away, and you know, they've got like
I miss cop cars being flipped over. Like, I don't know why that went out of style. I used to love that.
Now, you know, they just had that one with the
It's not that hard. Once you get it rocking back and forth, you know, if you get 4 or 5 people on it, it's not that hard to flip a car over.
At one of the protests, they had the police car that was trying to drive through the protesters. And they were trying to, like, push the car back.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah, well, why? Exactly. Like, that doesn't seem like a good strategy. You want to get that car off the wheel so it's not running you over.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I know you might as well some movies where, you know, like, the tires are spinning and smoking while people are pushing the car, but I don't think that's legit.
That movie was Hulk, though, so yes, you gotta think about that. But if you flip that car over, it's not going anywhere you don't want it to go. Just saying. I'm not encouraging you to flip cars over. I'm just saying you should.
Yeah. We should bring that back.
So, listen,
bring it
we're
back
getting
after they let LaPera off. We'll bring it back.
We're getting kind of close on time. We have about 4 minutes. Is there anything we want to kind of...
Is that true?
That is true. I believe it's true.
Really?
In my I'll see. My eternal clock is ticking.
We should talk about these supposed protesters in Vegas. You know, while we're talking about immigration stuff. Because, first of all, in Philadelphia now, they're occupying the ICE Center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did that in Portland. I think the cops did come and like trying to force them out in Portland.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah,
breaking
they were
it
doing
up
that.
in Philadelphia.
So meanwhile, here in Las Vegas, our amazing protest, they not only went out and got permits and hired cops to come and protect them from cops, but they took up a GoFundMe account to raise the money for that. And then the cops went out and arrested people for stupid shit like jaywalking.
Anyway,
Which normally you wouldn't even
blocked off street.
Right,
Yeah.
on a blocked off street. And normally you'd get a ticket for that in the first place. So it's not even something you should be arrested for. Period.
I'm not sure that's true, because look what they got me for basically,
Well,
and they're
yeah,
arresting.
when they want to arrest somebody for bullshit.
Yeah,
If you're
for
holding
taking
up if you're holding up a banner that shows that one of their friends is a murderer.
No, what I'm saying is like, oh man, they take everybody in now.
Yeah. So, you know, you throw a bunch of money at the cops and they reward you by fucking with the people that think that you've convinced that the cops are gonna protect you.
Listen, you can't trust them. You can't trust them.
Yeah,
What do you
and-
expect?
Well,
I mean, you know.
Well, I like that everybody's like, well, maybe they'll learn this time and they won't do it. No, they're going to do it again, and they're going to keep convincing people that the cops are going to protect them.
Well, I think the reason.
But that's also the leadership of the march, man.
Yeah,
You should know who the people are organizing the march, and if they're legit, and if they hold the same values, and what their agenda truly is. Was the agenda to protest the separation of families, or was it to sign up people for
voting?
Yeah, it was a voting drive.
It was a voting drive.
Yeah, they made
It's
it.
not
They
even
tried to
honest.
make it seem like it was a grassroots campaign, but it was astroturf. It was all by the Democrats, and they had Democrat candidates and
Right.
politicians in office actually speak at the event, and then so yeah, it was all political. It wasn't really.
Right, they're making, you know, they use these events, they use real horrible events that people should be concerned about to their own advantage. They're self-serving. Self-serving. So, and this isn't the first time they've pulled this stunt in Vegas. This is, you know, far from it. They do it every so often. Anytime there's new hay to be made on a situation to be taken advantage of, they're right there, like leeches. You know, sucking the blood of the people. It's just.
They'll be collecting money to pay the cops to arrest people at their protest. Fucking next month too.
Yeah.
So we're
They're
running
not going to
low
learn
on
anything
time.
from anything.
So, is there any events you want to bring up coming up?
Let's see,
Not
not this
bombs, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday.
Wednesday, 11:30. Yeah, I'm always glad we have a lot of good things.
Can I plug one?
Yeah, always. Yeah, grab this mic over.
I can actually now hook up a mic here for me to talk when I need to. Now that we do that.
Oh, cool.
Next Saturday and Sunday we'll be having a car wash out here, or actually War Healing Project will have a car wash out here to raise money for their funds when they get back from their peace mission out in sorry, a lot going on here, out in Syria. Thank you.
They'll be playing that song Car Wash over and over again.
Yeah, actually they'll be dressed that way too.
Nice.
Sorry, my wife Sam just got pulled over, so I'm dealing with that.
Tell her to film.
There was a homeless.
It looks like he let her go.
Article about homelessness here in the valley that.
See how good filming is? You film and they let you go.
We didn't get into it, but it's on the page. Check it out, read it. We'll get into it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us and tuning in. Don't forget, if you have stories or if you want to hear something, let us know. We're here for you.